Have you ever heard the saying, "It's not over till it's over"? Well, today, I'm going to share a legal story that brings this phrase to life in the most dramatic way possible. It's a tale of a case that was dead in the water, a lawyer facing certain defeat, and a judge who saw something everyone else had missed. This isn't just about a legal loophole. It's about the very heart of justice. Let's set the scene. Imagine a small law firm taking on a massive corporation. The case revolves around a contract dispute. Our lawyer, let's call him Alex, has a client who is clearly wronged. The problem? The contract had a tiny clause, buried deep in the fine print, that seemed to give the corporation a legal escape hatch. Alex knew it, the opposing counsel knew it, and everyone expected the judge to dismiss the case based on this single, devastating clause. For months, Alex and his team fought tooth and nail. They filed motions, deposed witnesses, and built a compelling moral argument. They showed how the corporation had acted in bad faith and how their client, a small business owner, was on the brink of ruin because of it. But law isn't always about what's fair. It's about what's written. And what was written in that contract seemed to spell doom. The day of the final hearing arrives. The courtroom is tense. Corporation's lawyers are confident, almost smug. They present their argument, pointing directly to the clause. "Your Honor," they say, "the contract is clear. The case should be dismissed." They lay out their reasoning, and it's legally sound. Alex feels a pit in his stomach. He's prepared his rebuttal, but he knows it's a long shot. It feels like he's about to watch his client's last hope evaporate. Alex stands up and makes his final plea. He doesn't just argue the law, he argues for justice. He talks about the spirit of the agreement, the trust that was broken, and the real-world consequences for his client. It's passionate, it's powerful, but legally, it feels weak against the cold, hard text of the contract. He sits down, defeated, expecting the gavel to fall and end it all. The judge, a seasoned veteran known for his strict interpretation of the law, looks over his glasses at both legal teams. The room is silent. He clears his throat and begins to speak. He acknowledges the corporation's argument. "You are correct," the judge says. "The clause you've cited is indeed in the contract." The corporate lawyers exchange a subtle, triumphant glance. "Is it?" However, the judge continues, and the entire courtroom leans in. What you failed to mention, or perhaps failed to notice, is another clause. On page 47, section 9, subsection B, he pauses, letting the weight of his words sink in. He then reads aloud a completely different clause, one that was so obscure and seemed so irrelevant that both legal teams had glossed over it. This clause stated that any term in the contract found to be inherently inequitable during its execution would be considered null and void. The judge looked directly at the corporation's lead counsel. "Your client's use of the first clause to knowingly bankrupt a smaller partner," he declared, "is the very definition of inherently inequitable. Therefore, the escape clause you've built your entire case on is invalid." A collective gasp swept through the courtroom. Alex's jaw dropped. He frantically flipped through his own copy of the contract and found it. The judge was right. It was there. The corporate lawyers were stunned into silence, their faces turning from smug confidence to utter disbelief. In that single moment, the entire case was turned on its head. The judge didn't just bend the rules. He used the rules themselves to deliver a just outcome. He saw beyond the obvious and found the key to fairness hidden in plain sight. The case that was considered a guaranteed loss became a stunning victory. This story is a powerful reminder that in law and in life, you have to read all the fine print. More importantly, it shows that a single person with integrity, in this case a wise judge, can uphold justice even when it seems impossible. The system isn't always perfect, but moments like these restore our faith in it. What do you think? Was this a brilliant legal move by the judge, or just pure luck? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video.